In this video, we're going to show you how to install the AC condenser on your Kia Sorento located behind your front bumper. Now, before tackling this job, you want to go ahead, bring your vehicle down to a local professional shop and have the AC system evacuated of its AC charge. On the top of our bumper, we want to go ahead and use our 10mm socket. We have a bolt right here. Go ahead, loosen and remove this one. And there's one on the passenger side we need to go ahead and get to. Remove those and set them aside. Now in the very center, we're going to have 4 of the plastic push button retainers. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver in the center. I'm going to use a trim tool to assist us in popping out that center button. And then remove the base. We're going to do this for the other 3. And go ahead and set those aside. Inside the wheel well area here, you're going to find an 8mm screw. You can also use a Phillips head screwdriver. I want to go ahead and loosen and remove this bolt. Go ahead and do the same for the driver's side. Now across the front portion here, we're going to have a series of these plastic push pins. There's 4 of them to be exact. On our particular model, it has a little Phillips head center button on it that you unscrew. Then you can use your trim tool to help you get that out the rest of the way, or at least a bit of the way. And then you go underneath the base and pop it out. Go ahead and do that for the other 3. Once you have these 4 out, there's going to be 6 12mm bolts. There's one here, 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 and then right here, and one in the back. Let's now go ahead, loosen, and remove those. This vehicle, we're missing one right here. Hold that cover while you remove that last bolt. Slide out from underneath the bumper cover itself, pull it out, and set it aside. After you remove that lower front center shield there, you want to come over to our splash guard right here. This is part of our fender liner. We're going to have 2 retainer buttons here. Just like on the top, going to use our Phillips head screwdriver, remove the center, and then we use our trim tool to go ahead and pop out the base. Let's go ahead and get the front one here. Once you get these 2 out, we're going to go ahead and repeat for the driver's side. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and grab the bumper right in the wheel well area, pretty much where that 8mm bolt was. I'm going to gently pull outward, and we're going to detach the bumper from the retainer clip here, just like so. We're going to go ahead and repeat for the driver's side. So as you pull this out, you want to go ahead and make sure that it detaches all the way up. There it is. Now as you come around, you want to detach the same style retainer. It comes across the bottom of our headlight. Let's go ahead and continue to do that around the front. Once you pop this off from underneath our headlight, you want to go ahead and repeat this for the driver's side. Now as we go ahead and grab our bumper and start to bring it out, if your vehicle is equipped with fog lights, you want to go ahead and reach down and disconnect those now. And you're just going to reach down, there's going to be 2 tabs. You're going to pinch the 2 tabs on left and right. Separate that connector, repeat for the other side. And once you get those clips off, that harness, you can now go ahead and separate that bumper and set it aside. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and disconnect this portion of our AC condenser. Now on the other side, if we look right on the other side of it, we're going to have a connection point right here. There's 2 10mm nuts on studs that go into our AC condenser. So we're going to go ahead and use our shallow 10mm socket and our ratchet. Now I'm using a swivel head ratchet for clearance. You can use a 1/4" ratchet. It might be able to have a little more swing room using that. Sometimes the stud will come out, and that's totally fine. On the bottom one here, we're able to remove the nut separately. So set that aside. Let's go ahead and get the upper one. Here we go, we got that one separated. And when you wiggle this free, you might hear a quick little hiss, a little bit of Freon just kind of hissing out of there. There it is. Now that we have the line separated from the AC condenser, we're gonna move to the cover on the top of the condenser. Now on the driver's side here, we have this little cover right here, and this is kind of just gonna divert the air up into our air intake tube. It's held in place by 4 Phillips head screws. There's 2 here and 2 on the other side. So just use a Phillips head screwdriver. Go ahead and loosen and remove these 4 screws. Now we do want to reuse these here, so don't lose those. Go ahead and set that aside. Now our AC condenser attaches to our radiator via these little retainer tabs here. Now there's gonna be 4 of these. The locking ones are on the top, so this is on the passenger side. We have one on the driver's side. Down below there's gonna be another retainer, but it's not a locking tab, so it's just the uppers we need to undo. You can see I just have a flathead screwdriver here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pry this out a little bit, and I'm gonna grab the air diffuser here and pull up as I release that, and you can see that that condenser just popped up and out. Let's go ahead and do the same to the driver's side. And we can see, now that I got it out, I can grab these and kind of wiggle this up. I want to pull this up, see if we can tilt this enough to get that up and out. Now we are having a little bit of an issue right here, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and loosen and remove 2 10mm bolts right here, and there's 2 on the other side, and these are retainers for the radiator. Hopefully we'll be able to remove this here, push the radiator in just a little bit, and give us some clearance for that connector right here. Once those are out, go ahead and grab that bracket and just work that up and off. Let's repeat for the driver's side. All right, let's see if this moves in. That little bit might just help us. You can probably lift up on that radiator a little bit. And let's grab the condenser. And that's what we wanted. Now let's go ahead and move our air diffusers. We want to go ahead and lift up on these little tabs, top and bottom, and slide that right up and off. We'll set that down. I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the other side. Lift up on these tabs. Get rid of that old junky condenser. Let's go ahead and grab our new condenser and swap these over. Line that up, push those down. All right, let's go ahead and get the other side on. All right, let's go ahead and install our condenser. On our radiator, we have the lower retainer tab, and then we have the upper locking tab. You're gonna find the same on the passenger side. You can then go ahead and lower your AC condenser down into these tabs and lock it into place. Now, when you receive your AC condenser, you may have these studs already threaded in, or you might receive them in a plastic baggie. Just go ahead and thread them in. It's the same amount of threads on both sides normally, so you can just thread them in, and that's what your adapter is going to go onto when you put your nuts on there. Now, right here and here are where the tubes are going to insert. You have rubber O-rings on the car side, so you want to go ahead and make sure those O-rings are still in good condition, and make sure that you put some PAG oil on the O-ring seals before you press this together. Let's go ahead and lower this down. Let's go ahead and lift up and push that radiator back in a little bit. All right, let's line up these tabs on both sides. And we have our AC condenser lined up in here, as well as our lower tab. Push that down inside, and then do the same for the driver's side. All right, our AC condenser is locked into place. Let's go ahead and install our 2 radiator brackets. Now, these are specific to each side, so you can't really mess that up. Let's go ahead and do the same on the other side. When tightening these down, you just want to snug them down pretty good. That's good. Now that we have our AC condenser secured and we got that PAG oil on those O-ring seals, we now want to go ahead and wiggle this into place. Now that we have the body side of the AC block put back on there, let's go ahead and get the nuts started. I'm going to go ahead and spin those on as far as I can by hand. They spin on pretty easy. And then we'll come on back and we'll snug them down. Now when that nut bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. You do want to make sure that it's good and snug. Now after I tighten up the nut, I'm going to go back and just double check the first one again. I want to make sure that this is snug down evenly. And you can also look down between the headlamp area and the radiator and just make sure that visibly the block itself is nice and flush. You can also look through right in front of the horn area. Make sure that the whole block is seated nice and flush. Good, take the intake cover here, slide this in. You want to slide it underneath these little tabs on each side. Go ahead and get the screws started. Now before snugging these down, I'm going to go ahead and get all 4 of them started. And then once we get them all 4 started, we'll come back and snug them all down. Have all 4 in. I'm going to snug down this side here. Go ahead and grab your fog light connection. Press that on. You want to go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. Now I want to go ahead and raise our bumper up into position. Now when doing this here, you want to be careful not to scratch the paint. And you're also going to be paying attention to the front bumper here. It needs to go up underneath the headlamp, but above this bracket. Now with this in place here, not snapped in, I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the passenger side here, making sure that that bumper is above that bracket. Go ahead and push this bumper in. Now leaning up against the bumper, pushing it up into place, I'm going to pull out on this. You want to make sure that the fender liner is behind the bumper. So just kind of work your hands down around this here, making sure that fender liner is behind it. Line this up. I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. Now I'm going to go ahead and install our upper hardware here. This is going to help hang the bumper and support it while we go underneath. Going to get that bolt started on the end. Go ahead and get your plastic buttons here. Get this end bolt started. Let's go ahead and snug these down. Just want those to bottom out. Install the screw. So just go ahead and snug this down. Once you get this in here, I want to go ahead and repeat for the driver's side fender. I want to go ahead and install the fender liner on the bottom of the bumper. I want to make sure that this is on the outside here. Go ahead and grab your push buttons here, line those up. And repeat for the other side. Go ahead and grab your splash shield, and we're going to fit the tabs up underneath our bumper cover. Do that across the whole front. Once we have this lined up, I'm going to go ahead and take one of the bolts and get it installed in the front center. I'm just going to run it in a few threads. Once we have that in, I'm going to go ahead and install the other bolts around the perimeter. If you have any missing hardware, be sure to go ahead and source some replacements so you can make sure that the splash shield is secured properly. Now these just need to be snugged down. Now if your vehicle has a rear splash shield on it and it attaches to this here, be sure to go ahead and attach it accordingly. This is all our vehicle had when it came in, so we don't have anything else to attach it to here. Go ahead and install your push buttons there. Now these can get brittle, they get deformed. If they do, it's a good time to go ahead and replace them. So basically you're pushing in the base and then take the center, you can push it in. Now at this point here, you want to go ahead and bring the vehicle down to a shop and have this professionally recharged. At that point there, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.